Hi there, everyone. Rob here once again with WesternPacificWeather.com. Today we're going to be looking at our tropical depression in the South China Sea. The system really has been continuing to linger across the region, and it looks like it's starting to flare back up here yet again. So some heavy rainfall to Vietnam, Cambodia, and even out towards Thailand is very possible with this tropical system. And also, we're going to take a quick look off towards north. Cold temperatures really are starting to hit much of Japan, Korea as well. So definitely going to be seeing some snow showers across that region. But for right now, let's dive right into this tropical depression and likely developing up here and bringing a lot of precipitation to the coast of Indochina. And as you can see on this IR imagery, the system convection here in the last several hours, and actually over the past 24 hours, it went from nothing out here, and JMA even canceled on it and really just stopped warning on the system, to now where JTWC, that's the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, has started issuing another TCFA on the system. And that is mainly because it escaped a lot of this bombardment of vertical wind shear off towards the north. You can see these shear lines here just north of the system down here towards the south. Also, you have this entire shear right up in this region, and that's mainly caused by the jet stream located here across southern China, extending across Taiwan and up towards Japan and the Ryukyu Islands. Well, this system moving off here towards this west-southwest, really starting to get away from that shear. It's also moving into warmer sea surface temperatures, and thus we're seeing this big blow up of convection. And if we look at the water vapor imagery, you can grasp the amount of convection with this and the amount of water vapor potential across this entire region as it drifts just west of the Spratly Islands, located right here and ending up moving towards Vietnam, and eventually Cambodia. And the bad news with this, we know that entire region really has been hit hard by monsoonal floods this past year, and with this tropical depression potentially bringing more precipitation in that region, it could cause some increased flooding and potential mudslides and landslides inland here in some of the higher elevations. But we do want to note, though, the system is not exceptionally organized at this time, but there is seeming to be a circulation around. As indicated on this ASCAT imagery here, you can see the cyclonic circulation here just south of the Spratlys, and really you have much of the higher winds off towards the north here, away from the center. That's basically gradient induced due to high pressure way off here towards the north, interacting with this trough of low pressure here. But the main thing I want you to take away from this is that it does have that center of circulation, and with that you can see further development of the system. And lastly, I also want you to take a look at the visible imagery here. You see that center of circulation right in here. As I already noted, most of the convection's off on the western periphery of the system right now due to a little bit of shear off here towards the north. It's kind of knocking the sides off, but there is some very strong thunderstorms associated with this, and that's these cloud tops right in here. You can kind of see the puffiness on the tops of these. That means those very high cloud tops and severe thunderstorms could potentially come out of this, and even a tornadic threat, something you don't really usually expect out here, but weak tornadoes even could form up with these higher cloud tops as this system drifts towards the west. So just something to note, not something to get too panicked about with this. As I already noted, really the main threat with this system as it drifts off in this region is going to be the potential for rainfall to areas of Cambodia and Thailand here. But this is looking at the streamline analysis in the lower levels. As the system is fairly weak, we want to look at the lower level streamlines here, and you can see the overall background flow, not just the center of circulation with the system, but the overall flow is taking it off here towards the west-southwest, and that would bring it towards these flood devastated regions here in Thailand and Cambodia. But as you can see here in the last several frames, you see that convection continuing to blow up here around the South China Sea and the Spratlys. In the last frame, you can kind of see it right in there. Well, this is going to continue to track off towards the west as indicated on that streamline analysis, and really these areas in Cambodia and southern Vietnam and even towards Thailand could see that heaviest precipitation. Let me draw that circle one more time here. This is where I think those heaviest areas of rainfall could possibly occur if that convection continues to persist as the system tracks off towards the west. But it does look like at this time the Joint Typhoon Warning Center is going to upgrade this to a tropical depression vice the TCFA they have out on it now, and it would be tropical depression 26W out here. And here is a look at the Thailand Meteorological Department surface analysis on this entire region out here, and it does show this area of low pressure 1008 HPA in this region. So we're definitely going to keep a close eye on the system as it tracks off towards the west. And really one other thing I want to point out on the system, it's kind of obvious, is that you have this strong Siberian high off towards north pushing south on this, and that is one of those main reasons why you might actually ask that question, hey Rob, why is the system not tracking off towards the north or recurving like most systems likely do? Well, really it's because of this high pressure continuing to push down on it, and as the system tracks off towards the west with those easterlies, it should not end up recurving like a lot of tropical systems do out in this region. So just something I do want to note. But another thing with that high pressure I do want to quickly mention is that this really is pumping a lot of cold air down here, and you're seeing single digit temperatures even on this analysis. You can see 7 up here in Korea, 2 down here, or excuse me, 3 here in Tokyo. So really very cold temperatures at 9 a.m. Japan Standard Time this morning across this entire region here. And with this, we're going to be seeing snow showers up and down the coast of Honshu and up towards Hokkaido. And here's just a quick look at the lows for the 13th out across this region. -10 in there in inland China, while over towards Tokyo looking at a low of 5 tomorrow night. So really expecting these very cold conditions to continue to persist here north of Taiwan and off here towards the north here. South of really that area of low pressure we were talking about earlier, that big shear line across this region. That's kind of the dividing line of the westerlies and the easterlies out here in that cold and semi-warmer temperatures. And actually, as we can see down here where we have this tropical system developing, a low overnight at basically in the low 20s here in Vietnam and over towards Thailand. That is also supporting the development of this tropical system, as there's still that moisture in the air, and the temperatures down there are warm enough to hold more moisture. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at WesternPacificWeather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as usual, always post them in the comment box below. I'll definitely get back to you with those, and really do looking forward to your suggestions and comments out here in the Western Pacific and even Australia as well. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great day.